It's the time to get down.
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point of view. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info, stay for the reefer. Marijuana for dummies. Come for the info and stay for the reefer.
Yeah, weed and more weed.
Oh, that's wrong.
Weed and more weed. Listen, it's 2018. Recreational marijuana is becoming more and more the norm in certain places. And here in California, it's the law, even though it hasn't rolled out completely everywhere and at all times, and some things are still to be seen. Let me tell you one thing I think people should recognize, especially here in California, or in those places where medical marijuana cards are readily available and legal. Get the card. The average cost of the card, Vic, here is $30. You can get them as cheap as $25, anywhere from $25 to $45
Right.
for the medical evaluation, including the card. And there are additional benefits to remember that come with having a medical marijuana card. For one, there are legal benefits
Absolutely.
that you are now a patient, so you're covered in ways by HIPAA.
Okay.
In terms of this is now part of your medical profile, that you are a patient who is using medical marijuana.
Right.
For $25, I
Okay.
suggest that you do that. The other thing I warn people is that recreational marijuana and medical marijuana are not handled the same in almost every place.
What do you find more up your ladder? The consumer area or the business expansion and development? What's your area that you like to watch more carefully?
Okay.
I'm only got.
I'm not investing in marijuana businesses.
Right.
People ask me why, and I said because I'm investing in Pax Stereo, and I don't need another job. Right? I could have gone on and practiced medicine an extra day a week.
True.
So the business side, that's the main reason why. For other people, yes. If I was younger and looking for something if I was young and looking for a growth area, marijuana definitely is it. My situation is unique because I'm not young. I have an enterprise, right? And then that takes up the majority of my time and efforts. But if I was younger, we might be talking about doing something like that.
Well, what about just from the information and consumption end?
From the consumption end, that's definitely where I'm coming from because I'm a user and I'm a medical marijuana, and that's why I'm telling you, for the $25, it's better to have the card and just use it if you need it.
Right.
When you get there, what you're going to find ultimately too is there's going to be a two-tiered price system because the recreational marijuana is going to be taxed usually in a different way than the medical marijuana.
Okay.
No matter where you go, it'll probably be different. So as long as you can get the card cheaply and easily,
Right.
get the card. Have the card too.
Okay.
That way you can make the decision yourself when you're at the dispensary whether to buy recreational or medical. I pointed out to everybody that this July is changing there, though. It's already changed.
Right.
When I was in Las Vegas at the dispensary I went to, they were out of recreational marijuana.
Okay.
I checked in with my medical marijuana card from California and bought weed.
Okay. All right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they were out of recreational marijuana because that in Nevada, part of the deal is that the marijuana transport is done through the alcohol companies.
Okay.
So guess what? It wasn't getting transported.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So I want you to keep that in mind and remember that because in L.A. and indeed in most of California, it's easy to get a medical marijuana card. In which case, I'm telling you, the benefits still involve that you're a medical marijuana patient, and all the evolving benefits that come from that.
Right. Okay.
By the way, today I'm smoking. Okay, I'm smoking SF. Let me see if I can find it because it was online. I'm smoking SFVOG, which is a hybrid SFVOG. Yeah, here it is. SFVOG. Say that fast. It's just hard. SFVOG marijuana strain, which is a hybrid. Okay, now they have strain reviews now on the line, and here's one. So it's San Fernando Valley OG. That's why the name is SFVOG.
Okay.
Okay. Now, not to be confused, they say, please don't confuse it with SFVOG Kush. Okay, because the SFVOG, the one I'm smoking, which is a renowned strain, is supposed to be a sativa dominant hybrid.
Right.
That means it's a hybrid. It has sativa and indica qualities, but they're dominated more. Just like when they talk about your astrological signs, Virgo, whatever. This is the dominant thing.
Got it.
So when they say that it's a hybrid, but it's a sativa dominant. Now, what I said, because I like it, is that it has a little bit, it seems a little more indica-like. Okay, it's morning time and I smoked it, so it's a little heavy in the morning, but nice.
Okay.
But in other words, you're getting up, you're having your coffee. It's a little heavy. Just a little.
Okay.
So if you're having a slow morning, that might not be the one. But it's because it's a hybrid, which means it has some indica qualities. I'm saying because of those indica qualities, it's a little heavy. But I'm not saying that in a bad way. I like it so much, I got a half ounce of it. And last time I went in there,
right.
I like it so much I got a half ounce. And so so remember, it's different from the SFVOG Kush. Okay. Both of these are from the San Fernando Valley. Okay, here in Los Angeles. Wonderful. So that's what I'm smoking today.
Okay.
And I'll take a hit, and it's wonderful. And I'm using the pipe. I'm just lazy. I'm going, because that's what we're going to talk about next. We're going to talk about, different forms of smoking. And one of the big forms today is vaping.
Oh, okay.
What is vaping? Vaping is... I need to put my phone in Do Not Disturb.
I've got too many devices for me, man. It's just way too many. I mean, look, between the 3 phones, iPad, your watch, imagine what you have to do to sit back and go, let me just get everything on and off when you need it. So,
it's hard.
It's hard.
And they're complicating it with these new sex toys that you work by your phone. They got this vibrator that has a phone.
Wait a minute. Wait.
So you can stimulate it.
Are you doing this for the sake of the women or for your own personal edification?
Because I'm stoned and you just asked me about it. Someone asked me about those things. They said, have I heard about it? I said, yes, I know about it. I almost bought it. But they do have like a vibrator with a remote control.
Was it a woman or a man?
A woman asked.
See, it's important. You know why? Somebody come in right the moment and go, who is he talking about?
It's almost always women who are asking me vibrator
That's
questions.
what I'm seeing. But see?
Somehow I have the face or whatever, the knowledge that they feel comfortable asking me all these vibrator questions.
So notice the conversation.
How do we get off of this? Because I'm stoned and I'm trying to tell you guys.
Wait. We went from...
That's why I said SFVOG. Can we go back? Lord, okay. Now... I'm stoned.
He's the one that did the transition.
I'm stoned. Okay, check it out. This is the introduction to vaping. So what is vaping, you guys? Vaping is a way of consuming marijuana, which has to do with heating the marijuana enough to vaporize. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple definitions because it's actually an evolving term. Traditionally, the idea was to heat the marijuana enough, not to combust, but to vaporize the THC within the marijuana so that you could inhale that. Okay, that's what this one is for. Now, that is to be distinguished by some of the pens that are so common and popular today, which are used to vaporize, quote unquote, different products that you put within them. For the most part, they do not work that well smoking weed. Okay? Okay? And I've tried a bunch of them, but they are designed better to smoking and vaporizing the evolving list of what we are calling extracts. These are materials that are actually produced to consume in these pens. So you can imagine these vape pens that you're seeing have a heating component within them, battery operated heating component that heats up to vaporize, not necessarily combust, because those are different temperatures, okay? But to vaporize different liquids. So a lot of these solutions that they're putting in the pens are specific for that pen.
Okay.
And so when you try to use them for different things, they don't work well. For example, under the term extracts, you have different kinds of, they look like, let me see if I can show you some pictures, some extracts. They look marijuana. You guys, you got to Google this stuff. Extracts. Because these are removed from, they use different chemical process to remove this from the weed. And then you use it to smoke. Here's some examples, Vic. This is what I wanted to show you specifically.
I see it.
See some of these?
Mm-hmm. I see it.
So this is not, so in the old days we had hash, but hash was different. Hash actually in the old days came from the people who were processing marijuana. Their hands would be covered by resin.
Yes, it would.
And then they would rub off the resin and form it into little balls. This is the dirt and weed and resin on their hands.
Right.
From handling the weed, they would roll it off into balls.
Right. I remember.
And that was hash. Now, I have a hash collection, which I realize part of the reason I have a hash collection is that it ain't that pleasant to smoke. You cough a lot, tends to be harsh, but I have a hash collection. These new extracts use a variety of newly and evolving chemical processes to remove the THC from the weed.
The irritant. What it does to your throat or whatever.
It's not the same. So the smoking process is different on all of this. They tend to put these in pipes, break it off in pieces, and smoke.
Got it.
Okay, so we're going to talk more about this type of vaping. I'm going to talk about that coming up. I'm going to deal with the other type of vaping, which is really the vaporizing of marijuana. Okay? The idea, I'm going to first talk a little bit today about using a vape machine, specifically the Easy Vape, to smoke marijuana. Okay? And in the future episodes, we'll be talking about using vaporizers to consume some of these other products. Okay? And then I also will talk about the differences. Okay, you need to have that distinction because they're so different processes. One is using a specific, usually a pen or a pipe of some type, to vaporize a previously made specific compound versus using a machine to smoke weed. Got it. Now, let me talk about the Easy Vape. Okay, so the Easy Vape, which is the machine that I'm going to show you today, it's my vaporizer of choice. And I'll be using it this Friday. This Friday on the new show, Music and Mary Jane, I'll be using this extensively. Okay, but the Easy Vape is designed for you to smoke, for the most part, marijuana, grass, weed.
Right.
Okay, but you can use it with other products too. This is a digital easy vape. Okay, and the way it works is that this is the heating element right there.
Right.
Okay.
And actually, Mario, could you go to that camera right there? It's right. Oh, good detail.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
there it is. And this is, you attach this. This is where you put all the weed. Okay, the weed and everything goes here. You attach it here. And then what you're doing is you are inhaling and you're pulling the heat through the weed, through the tubing. Okay, so that's a heating element. That gets red hot. Okay, and this element right here is where you put the weed. Now, how do you put the weed in there? If you take a look, I'll show you. You get to pull this apart. And inside, you can see there's leftover weed that needs to be thrown out from the last time this was used.
Okay. Okay.
Outgrowth. But the point is, this is where you put your weed in here. Okay, there's a screen in here. There's a screen in there. And you put this attaches. That comes off the clean. But what you do is you grind the weed with a grinder.
Right.
Very important. You grind it with a grinder so that it's nice and consistently ground. And you put the weed in here a little bit. You don't want it to actually touch this heating element.
Right.
You just want it to be, so you want it to be a little. So you put in maybe a quarter inch of the weed.
Right.
I tap it lightly because you don't pack it. But I tap it lightly like of a pencil, eraser side.
Right.
Just lightly. Okay, or you can tap it lightly with your little finger a little bit. Just lightly, not packing it. Just enough so that when you turn it like this,
right,
it doesn't all pour out.
Got it.
Okay.
Notice he's giving me an education, y'all.
Well, I know you don't smoke weed.
That's
I want you now. I'm gonna tell you, but I want everybody to understand the basic mechanism because it's important to understand that you're putting the weed in this. Okay, you got the tubing, and then you're going to use this machine to provide the heat to vaporize the weed. So when you put this on here,
right,
turn it on. That when you turn it on, that turns hot, and you're going to be sucking on it, pulling that heat through the weed,
right,
which will then vaporize the THC, which then comes back to your mouth. Now let me tell you a little bit about this. This is digital, Vic. If you see from the guide on the screen, it's digital.
Okay.
What does that mean? Different marijuana metabolites, okay, different cannabinoids vaporize at different temperatures.
Right.
With this being temperatures dependent, theoretically, and there are charts, we will debate the accuracy of the charts, but there are charts that tell you roughly what temperatures to use to vaporize which components. Like they might say,
oh, I understand.
These metabolites that make you more mellow
right,
are at this temperature. These that make you, totally stoned
right,
are at this. So because this is digital, you can actually specifically set a temperature as opposed to the other ones that just have a knob you turn and guess what the temperature is. Some say high, medium, low.
Right.
This one you can actually program digitally the exact temperature that you want.
Okay.
Okay? So when you stick this on there and start smoking, the THC vaporizes and comes back to your mouth. It doesn't combust. Now what does that mean? Because this is the most important thing. When the weed does not burn, it is totally affecting the flavor.
Okay.
If you're a person who's into health, doesn't want smoke,
right,
imagine you're a health nut person.
Right.
I said health nut, that's so bad.
Hey, nothing wrong with being a nut.
Forgive me, but you know who you are. You're my friend, and I love
oh,
you.
no,
but
no,
you're
no,
the one
no,
who
no,
bugs
man.
me. But not you, but you know those types.
Oh,
we
yeah,
know
man.
them,
Don't worry about that.
You don't want any smoke.
Right.
This allows you to take marijuana. When
right,
you use the marijuana, the THC vaporizes. It tastes like water vapor with a little flavoring.
Right.
It's not smoke. Because the weed never catches on fire.
Right.
It never combusts.
Right.
So it's never smoke. You get this vapor. It tastes like water vapor, only it fucks you up.
Right. So let me...
It's very potent.
Right. So you get into a question...
It's like a bong hit.
Right. So
it's like a bong hit that tastes like water.
Let me say this, because this, to explain it, is for the person who's basically going, this is what we are experiencing, those who smoke. for the most
Right,
part. But I'm getting to something else.
All right.
I'm getting to this part where, do you see that will be the trend, because you accept it? You could actually be in environments where people say, because a lot of people, the number one thing a lot of people who don't smoke may get into is that the smoke may be put into an environment where they don't want it on their clothes. They don't want it in their person, their body. Would that be the trend that says you could be in the same room now and those particular things won't happen?
Those people, that's where it's perfect.
Right.
Because
that's
it's
what I
not
was talking
smoke.
about.
Some people don't want smoke.
Yeah.
Even though they may burn incense or whatever.
Right.
But let's say you don't want any of that.
Yeah.
Then this would be for you because it's inhaling the vapor.
Right.
You don't have any of the smoke issues. Okay?
Right.
And for all those reasons, now, I'll be going over this more on Friday on the show during Music and Mary Jane. But here's the thing. Remember, because the weed does not combust, that affects the smoking experience.
And the what is it psychological or is it
total flavor? In other words, I've always said, now part of it is that I was a smoker, right?
Right.
Cigarettes. I was a smoker for years too. I quit smoking in 2007.
Right.
But I was a smoker, so when you roll marijuana and tobacco, and a lot of Europeans are known for mixing tobacco, cigarette. They unroll a cigarette and mix it with weed, and smoke that. So mixing tobacco and marijuana is a known likable thing in many places.
It's a
they can be it's like Coke and 7-Up. I mean Coke and rum. Or
it just goes together.
They go together.
It goes together.
So I always said a blunt rolled by a pretty woman is the best thing for me.
You know what?
Because it has this tobacco leaf and you're smoking it. But I've also smoked those where people didn't smoke. And the women, it was the girls like, oh, what is, And I said, oh my God, I forgot. That's tobacco. It's a blunt.
Right.
She hated it.
Right.
Because she didn't smoke tobacco.
Right. Got it.
So it makes a difference what you roll the weed in. For me, the best experience of smoking has to do with the flavor of the weed. So when you vaporize, like with those machines, there is no flavor. You're not combusting the weed.
Right.
So it does not have any of the smoking satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
See, so I don't get any of that. You get this water that has a slight flavor to it.
Right.
That is very potent. So potent that it tastes like nothing. You take big hits.
Because you're looking for it.
And
and later on.
It'll fuck you up. No, right there.
It'll get you.
It'll hit you.
So you want to have that taste, what I call the taste.
I want
experience.
the flavor, yes.
I want the experience.
Flavor of weed.
Right.
That's why, to me, the best burning marijuana, if you like the taste of burning marijuana, then vaping, I have 2 of them, right?
Right.
And you see I don't use them every day. I use them sometimes.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you I like the flavor
I feel
of marijuana. We're going to be talking more about this on Friday on the new show, Music and Mary Jane, where I'll be doing extensive vaping. So this Friday from 7 to 8:30, join me here, part of the pre-show for the I Victor that follows up at 9. We're going to be doing a bunch of vaping here on Friday, Music and Mary Jane, while listening to some wonderful Creative Commons music. Okay?
Oh, good, man. Cool.
There we go.
Yeah, I remember way back in the day, I had an ex-girlfriend, and I didn't know the nickname I gave her out of ignorance. And I gave her the nickname Mary Jane. So whenever I was around friends, and of course I was smoking, I would go, yeah, man, I got to go check in. I got to go see Mary Jane. And those who smoked took that as, where are you going? So they thought that I was talking, and I'm going, no, man, I'm going, that's a nickname, Mary Jane.
You could have nicknamed her BJ.
Hey, but you know, only you go there, man.
Because how many girls you know named BJ? I always be BJ.
Dude,
I go like,
you just take it down that
BJ.
path. That pathway, you have to go there, don't you?
Times are a-changing, but some things stay the same. You start each morning with a cup of coffee every day. Maybe hit the snooze, turn on the local news, but nothing good comes from a one-sided point
Hey!
For the